We are now joined by Oklahoma head coach Patty Gasso and student athletes Lauren Chamberlain, Destiny Martinez, Kaylani Ricketts, Brianna Terang, and Brittany Williams. We'll start with an opening comment from Coach and then go to the floor with questions.
I don't even know what to say, except I think that was the greatest game I've ever been a part of. I think both teams just battled, and both pitchers were exceptional. Defense exceptional. Pitchers were owning it, and Tennessee put some things together. But the resiliency of this team and the fight and them following instructions of just find your way on. Don't try to be the big hero. Just find your way on. Find your way on. And here we go again from, your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back to Lauren. I mean, it was phenomenal how we ended up tying that game with just some clutch hits, and it all came in one inning. So sometimes that's all you need. I really don't even know what to say. That was one of the most amazing comebacks I've ever seen. I can't imagine. I mean, it's nervous on the field. I can't imagine how people felt watching it. But this is a team on a mission, and man, I've never seen anything like it.
We'll open it up for questions. Please raise your hand and wait for the mic to come to you, and then state your name and affiliation before you ask your question.
James Hale, Sports Talk 14 under the ref, OUinsider.com. Kalani, 188 pitches. Can you just describe what you were going through mentally as your team's struggling to get a run, but you're coming back out every inning, knowing you have to put a 0 on the board, and you just kept going out there?
Well, Ellen did a great job battling our hitters, and, we struggled off her the entire game until the end. But, I was just trying to get my team in there because I knew that they were going to come around. Even if we hadn't come around the first 10 innings or 11, I don't know how many went. But, I just believed in them, and, that's what we have to do if we want to just put ourselves in the best chance to succeed.
Joey Helmer, Fox Sports. Lauren, what was your approach kind of going into that last at-bat? I mean, with a base opener, are you kind of surprised that they didn't intentionally walk you there, and kind of what was your mindset going into that at-bat?
Well, I knew Ellen had success with me in the past few at-bats before that. I was just trying to make an adjustment, clear my hands a little bit. I felt like I was just missing the whole game, so I was just I felt due, but at the same time, I'm so proud of my team. I can't even talk about myself right now. I'm so proud of my team.
Hey, Lauren, Patty said it was nerve-wracking. Can you talk about that, just what it was like being on the field throughout that whole thing?
It was nerve-wracking. I think the nerves were there because, this is the championship series. It's supposed to be a game like that. We were honestly just trusting our training, and glory to God for giving us patience and trust, knowing that it was going to fall, and knowing that Lonnie was going to keep working her hardest on the mound for us as well.
Lauren, can you describe that trip around the bases, what it was like at the end?
Well, on my way to first, I was watching to see if it was foul or fair, and I was praying that it was fair. But as soon as I saw it was fair, and just seeing the crowd's reaction and my teammates just going nuts at home, I really couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
Joe Masato, OU Daily. Coach, can you talk a little bit more about that 11th inning when you all came back and scored the 3 runs on 4 multi-base hits?
I don't think I can. It was, I don't even remember where it started. I think we just looked at each other, I looked at these guys and said, just find your way on. That was the whole motto the whole way, talking to each one of these guys up here. Find your way on. Find your way on. Get yourself on. Find your way on. That's all we talked about. Find your way on. There's a runner at third base, and I'm saying, don't worry about the RBI. Find your way on. Well, if you're going to get on, you're probably going to get an RBI, but nobody was listening. They didn't care about that. It was just be selfless and find your way on. Find your way on. And, and the one thing I'll always remember is Callie Parsons running around second, and I could have just put my hands behind my back because she was going the whole way no matter what. She was absolutely rung up at third base, but adrenaline was flying. And, I don't know. I mean, I have to go back and watch this because I think we're still in disbelief somewhat. But, you know, the fight that these guys had in Kalani, I'm looking at Ellen and Kaylani's numbers, and they're almost identical throughout their line. The amount of pitches they threw, their strikeouts were the same. It was such a matchup for the ages. I thought it was it's the best game I've ever been a part of. And to be on this side and to see how this all transpired is something that right now I can't remember, but I will never forget, if that makes sense.
Destiny, you were down to your last strike. Will you take us through what was going through your mind during that at-bat and then on that last hit?
Well, my previous at-bat, she had struck me out on a changeup. So I kind of was telling myself to sit late because I knew that could be one of her next pitches. But I just stayed confident in myself, and I knew that it had to be a selfless at-bat. And like Coach said, she did tell me that it wasn't about the RBI, it was about getting myself on and handing the bat down the lineup. So I think just staying confident and knowing that even if there's 2 strikes, I can get the job done.
Brianna, can you just talk about how this sort of fits into this season of sort of magic you guys have had, all these wins, all this dominance? How does tonight sort of fit into all that for you?
I think this whole season we've been consistently fighting. Like that's our big thing, and I think as we were going into those last few innings, that's all we could do. I mean, Kaylani was pitching a great game, and I mean, I guess even when I was up, I was like, we got to do it for her. I mean, she's pitching so well, and she's helped us out so much throughout this season. And I think with our lineup, it's about who's going to do it. And there's no question with us. So.
James Hale once again, Sports Talk 14 under the ref. Brittany, can you talk about, you know, this team is, you're always trying to pass the bat to the next hitter, especially when you come up and you're down in that game and you guys are coming along. You had a big hit late in the game as well. Can you talk about how that motto held strong for you in this game?
When I just went up to bat, like I wasn't trying to press or anything because I trusted my teammates behind me that if it didn't go my way, they could pick me up right away. So I mean, everyone can hit in this lineup, so I trust everyone behind me.
We have time for 2 more questions.
For Lauren and Brianna, and actually any other hitter that wants to jump in, what did Ellen have tonight that kind of kept her so consistently good, and what was it that kind of baffled in the beginning?
Lauren, we'll start with you, then go to Brianna.
She was really spinning the ball, and I think it was kind of different where we were in the box. It just kind of threw us off a little bit for our first couple at bats, but just trying to stay short on her spins.
And Brianna?
She definitely had spins. There were some pitches that looked like they were going to rise, and they didn't. They ended up being right there. And her rise ball was awesome. I mean, that thing is so hard to lay off of, but I think she had a really good mix and really good speed differences, and so I think it made it tough because you didn't really know what was coming next.
Final question, front.
Garen Emig of the Tulsa World. Kalani, are you ready to throw tomorrow?
Of course. This game, of course. It's a national championship. Why wouldn't I?
All right.
Thank you.